anyway, let's go ahead and get in. I know it. Let's just go ahead and get in the pay-per-view, and we'll as shit allows, we'll sprinkle shit throughout about what we just talked about. I'll find a minute.
That's exactly what it is. Shit.
Master of the segue over here, dude. Don't worry about it. I got you. We'll figure it out.
You know how it is.
I know. I bullshit for a living, dude. Don't worry about it. While we're doing that, I'm going to bring up the card for the pay-per-view because I don't remember who. I know we don't do match by match, but I want to make sure we give a good sampling of everything.
Don't forget I actually watched the pre-show. I know you always ask anyways, but.
Yeah, okay. So, well, let's get into that. Go ahead, the pre-show.
The pre-show I thought was one of the best matches, to be honest.
Everybody's saying that, and I didn't watch the pre-show.
Was it Rico and Serena Deeb for the NWA title?
Okay, Vic, how did you not watch the pre-show? You.
As soon as I saw Rio's name, I was like, oh, I guess I'm watching this. I mean, they were playing.
So, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just gonna make a comment about their plastic belt.
Okay. No, well, this
it looks like something that came from Kmart.
It looks like, you know what? It looks like the Toy Intercontinental Championship belt that I had back in '93.
Hey, is that the actual like the NWA women's belt from like way back when?
It's a replica though.
It's supposed to be, but it didn't look like the same one that they had when Serena Deeb beat what's her name?
Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, Thunder Rosa. It doesn't look like the same one. That one legit looked plastic. It didn't even have a shine to it. The other one is boring looking, but at least it looked like it's metal or tin or something. This one legit looked plastic. I looked at it like pretty closely, and I was like, no, that looks like plastic. So I don't know if they're not letting them travel anymore with that belt. Something happened. Maybe one of them lost it. Maybe Serena Deeb lost it. I don't know, but I'm almost positive that's not the real belt.
It's probably a prop. I know that the original one, I think WWE has it in the New York warehouse. It's the one with the Fabulous Moodo's image on it.
Is that the one? Is that the one that is featured on Most Wanted Treasures?
I think so. That's the one that Wendy Reichter won. Actually, I think Vince McMahon paid Moolah like what 10 or 15 grand just to get that belt from her.
Oh, is that the one she hijacked?
Yeah. So that's the original NWA belt, the one with her picture, Moolah's picture on it.
And Dan is in the house.
Oh yeah. Dan.
Hey, you didn't miss anything, man, because apparently the recorder didn't turn on No, we just got started with the pay-per-view, but we were talking about the releases before. So we must just cover it very quickly right now, since it's a nice segue into the thing. Yeah, Dan's reaction was like, "Oh, did we lose something else again?" Yeah, it wasn't as gold.
We've been recording for an hour already, Dan. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we haven't. I'm gonna give you the quick recap, Dan. Anybody else can add what they want to add. Was that Strowman was shocking, but Strowman is a big money contract for just an attraction. He's never going to be the main player with anybody. Yeah. And then he kind of shit on himself when he talked shit on the Indies last year, saying to get a real job. And he did put out some stuff saying WWE is the only place that he would work. So we were talking about, okay, would it work in Japan for him? Because you kind of forget everything in Japan and actually learn how to wrestle, because he doesn't know how to do that he's got the 3 moves. Don't necessarily see AEW as a fit for him at all. Aleister Black, though. Go ahead.
I said it would be pretty shocking if AEW signs Strowman.
Yeah. Aleister Black is more apt to go to AEW, but he was surprising to get cut because he's been on TV the last 2 weeks. But you know what? Now that I think about it, that's not unheard of either, because freaking, what's his name? Alexander Wolf was literally on NXT and got jumped and dumped from Imperium, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you're also fired. I was like, oh shit. The dude was just on TV and got a beat down, and all of a sudden comes home like, hey, you're fired too.
Let's not forget, was it Peyton Royce or Billy Kay, who was in the Rumble and then was let go the next day or 2 days later?
Yeah, you know what?
WrestleMania tag team title match.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. Yeah,
it was the gauntlet. It was the gauntlet, wasn't it? It was the gauntlet match. Yeah. prominently featured though. Yeah, maybe that's not surprising at all anymore. Ruby Riott, I think Impact. I think she'll do Impact. She'll be okay. Whatever she does, she'll be okay. Vic wants to see Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black in AEW as a tag team because the matches they had in WWE, they had good chemistry. And Lana, we think if she doesn't come out of a cake on AEW, then she'll probably just retire and pursue acting. Did you see? And I meant to say this because it's dirty, but did you see on that? And Mike knows I trolled this one Facebook page all day. Like I just trolled them hard. But did you see? Anytime they mentioned her, because you know how the joke has been like, they just take their name and spell it backwards or some play on the name and say is All Elite. So they just took her name and spelled it backwards, but her name backwards happens to be Anal. So it says, Anal is All Elite. I was like, oh wow, that's just freaking wrong.
So wrong, but it's so right.
So that was the gist of the conversation, man. And there we covered what we talked about for about 20 minutes and like 5, but it's okay. So the Serena Deeb Riho match was good. All these ladies, man, are kicking the shit out of each other. And you want to talk to other women's match now? We don't need to go in order. Because we're talking about the ladies.
No, I wanted to say that I was glad to hear that Riho is now living here permanently. So we should see her. I don't know if she's going to be working more with TNA or if she's going to be working more with AEW, but either way, it's good to see her on TV.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm going to go into the women's match, the other one, just because we're talking about the women, and just kind of get it out of the way. Again, another match where they kick the shit out of each other. I like this match. First of all, can I say I was disgusted by what happened with Hikaru Shida and the Spanish commentator? That was disgusting.
They wound up firing him, right?
Yeah.
They fired him.
Yeah, they did.
Bro, I mean, I know that's an old thing. It isn't 1986. Like, that shit's not gonna fly. And to be honest with you, she speaks better English than Shinsuke. She speaks way better English than Shinsuke. She has brought herself here. She lives in the U.S. She has wanted to learn English. She damn well knows if I'm gonna get over here, I gotta speak English. Like that's just kind of what it is. So she's committed herself to that. I thought it was good. She spoke a little slow. Yeah. Dude, how many people do you know that, have come up? Dude, friends of mine, their parents have learned English here. And you talk to them now, years later, and they're talking to me like we're talking right here. Where when they were first learning it was slow. Yeah. But as soon as they get used to it, it's like nothing, man. You can't even catch an accent on them anymore. So I was disgusted by that. They just gave her that new belt, and
what's different on the belt? Is it just got the gold plating now?
I think it's a little wider too. It's bigger.
It's a little bigger.
Is it bigger? I couldn't tell. I just could tell that it looked like it was gold plated now instead of the old one, which was not, I think. But it's bigger.
The old one looked like the kids version of it.
Right. I just thought it seemed weird that they were changing the belt already.
Same belt pretty much, just bigger.
Yeah, I think it's just bigger.
A little different.
They gave it to her for the year, like anniversary, and she was super excited and they have talked about this for weeks, how she's been a champion during the pandemic, so she has.
Do you think she gets to keep that other belt now?
I'm sure she does.
Sure.
But did you catch her when she came out? She actually at one point put her hand to her mouth, like, "Oh my God, like this is what it's like to do this in front of a live crowd." Which, can I tell you, made a huge difference. Oh my God, the live
crowd was awesome on the pay-per-view.
Yeah. You and here I have a reason for saying that now. I was going to mention it anyway, but I have a reason for saying that. I thought the match was kick-ass. I thought the match was really good.
Oh yeah. Big time.
We've said some stuff before about Britt Baker, about still a little green and stuff like that. But I'll be damned if she wasn't over. She was over with that live crowd. Like you could hear it, and she posted stuff to her Instagram story of like fan video from the crowd. When they hit 3, man, the place erupted. The place freaking erupted. And I've seen Britt Baker in person. Like I've seen her at what is supposedly not defunct Bar Wrestling, and she's over coming out just in Bar Wrestling. The whole Dr. Baker DMD chants that started with that. Like she's been over like that. So yeah,
they've been doing a good job over the whole entire pandemic, pretty much of getting her over. Even when she wasn't in the title picture, they did a good job of getting her over, going all the way back to the injury thing and through that whole thing, the introduction of Rebel, not Reba, and all that stuff. They've just been it's been a slow burn because this is what they knew that they wanted to do. Sheeta did a hell of a fucking job holding that belt. Between her and Moxley holding that belt during the pandemic, they did about as well as you could have expected out of any wrestler doing what they did over that time and holding prestige to a belt where you don't really have a lot going on. And then to be able to let that slow burn on Britt Baker happen and then let her be the bridge into this next transition period of back into normalcy for wrestling. And I think they're even on the men's side with Kenny, they're both gonna do good jobs of taking us into that next level.
We call those the workhorses. That's what we call them, the workhorses.
That's a lot of confidence that they're giving to Britt Baker that she could be that workhorse. Kenny obviously is well deserved, but
you know how Britt calls herself Dr. Baker calls herself the face of the women's division. A few weeks ago, I would not have agreed with that. Seeing how over she was with this crowd, I'm starting to believe it. That she's the one that's from a storyline perspective and from the entertainment perspective. Not necessarily the work, but I can deliver a story type thing. And Mike, you agree with me?
Well, let me just say that I thought this match was terrible. This is by far the worst match on the card. There was very sloppy. Britt Baker looked like she was blown sky high, and Hikaru Shida to me is miles above any other woman in this company. I think he has better talent as far as the women talent goes, and that's by design. WWE did that shit on purpose. They didn't want AEW to get the Candice LeRae's and the Toni Storms and the women that were really kicking ass on the indies. But you're right as far as the personality and how much she's over with this crowd. I do think they brought it back at the end because they were laying it in really good. But there was a lot of missed spots and a lot of sloppiness in this, and it goes back to her being green in the ring. But the character work is what's getting her to this point here, and I think she's only going to continue to improve. But when she turned heel, I mean, it was the best thing going in this division for a long time because the Rihos and everybody were trapped in Japan. They couldn't travel because of the pandemic, so Shida just kind of ran through everybody, and even some people that maybe weren't ready to get into that spot. But this is the right call to put the belt on Britt at this point. Shida's had a good run, and she absolutely carried this division all the way through the pandemic. And you're right, the crowd popped huge for her to win. I wasn't a big fan of the match until the end.
Okay, and maybe I'll rewatch it and check that out. But I was into it, I guess, because I like both. I like the character of Britt Baker, and I think Shida kills it. Like as far as
incredible.
I mean, I do agree that Britt Baker seemed overly outmatched in the match itself, even though you probably knew what was going to happen. But she was overmatched. But then that played into the storyline too, because a lot of times when you have that, you know what's going to happen, but you want to see how it gets there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you have that person be outmatched most of the match, so her being outmatched plays into the story.
Sure.
But this does having Britt as the champion now allows other females to see if they can step up now, because Tay Conti's down the line somewhere, dude, and you can't tell me she still needs work. She still needs work, but you can't tell me she has not vastly improved from her time in NXT.
I think what's her name is Jade. I keep forgetting her name.
Okay. She as an athlete, yeah, but you know what? That's AEW's answer to Bianca Belair, and I don't want her. She can get the Roman treatment, dude, and you got to watch that. You can't shove her down our throats. You can't do that. Like, she's green. It has to build. I just mentioned Tay Conti. She does need the work. But the improvement is vast from what she was doing in NXT.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to see her champion next month. I want to see her in the picture and just continue to get better. Is what I want to see.
Well,
she's going to be a champion eventually, dude.
The promising thing about these women that they have right now is you can see the upside. It's not like you're seeing like a Lana where you're like, she's just never going to get it. You know what I mean? Like, you can see the improvement every single month. And the cool thing about Britt Baker being the champ now is with that character work, they can get people more interested in the storylines around the championship instead of just, okay, she does wrestling this person for no fucking reason. You know what I'm saying? They can build storylines better with Britt being the champion now, and I think it's the right move, and I like the end result for sure.
Yeah, did you guys notice the insult to injury, like right after that the WWE Instagram posted? Like, they posted of
Nia
Jax.
Squashing Britt Baker.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You know that was by design.
How
that's
much we were talking about people seeing how much they were over. I don't know. I mean, do you want to? I got another guy that I'll tell you, man. He got over. This was his time, but I don't know if you want to go there yet because it's one of the main events.
Before you go on, if we're moving away from the ladies, I just wanted to make a comment about how significant it is that both AEW and WWE both chose Japanese women to carry their belts during the pandemic.
Yeah. And that's a great example.
And that they both
about
obviously
did
fantastic.
Because, like, Asuka, she doesn't speak very good English at all, but she's over big time just with her charisma and her personality, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But, you know, the other match that I kind of wanted to bring up on here is because I heard Dave Meltzer saying this was a match of the year candidate, and I could not, like, disagree more, but for more, like, stickler reasons, this is the Young Bucks versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston.
Okay, he said that?
He said that.
No.
Yeah. The problem I have with this is there's no fucking rules here. Like Eddie Kingston's waiting outside for a tag this whole time, and meanwhile the Young Bucks are in the ring for 45 minutes beating the shit out of Moxley nonstop. I just felt like the psychology of this match was way off. And then Moxley takes a Meltzer driver on the outside on the concrete and pretty much no-sells it. I just can't fucking believe. And then it ends with the knees to the face after he just took a pile driver on the concrete on the outside. That just doesn't make sense to me, dude. I hated that.
How many ribs did we see of other wrestlers? So the obvious one was the Roman Reigns. Ooh-ah! Like, that was freaking completely obvious. But freaking Matt Jackson was hopping around the ring doing I don't know what, looking like freaking Rumpelstiltskin, hopping back and forth, you know, while they're beating on like what was he doing? Like I don't get that.
Not only that, waving his arm around like if he was Randy, if he was the Macho Man.
Is that what he was doing? Okay, is that what we're doing now? Because the last big match they had, it was against SoCal Uncensored was I'm sorry, I love you. Like, dude, are we just taking storylines from 15 years ago and like poking fun at them? Like, God, because even before they did the ooh-ah, they put their hands out, their fists out, you know, do the thing in front of Moxley. Like, that, okay, I mean, ordinarily I would have I find that funny, but he did it too much. If it was just okay, I'm in this one spot, I'm gonna make funny, okay, but like, it just seemed like they were doing that the whole match. Like,
AEW, a lot of run-ins on this show too.
They were acting like early '90s Shawn Michaels. Dude. That's how they were acting with the little leather beret and shit. You know? Like old school HBK.
Yeah.
They probably would have let him come down from the ceiling if somebody else wasn't already doing that.
Yeah, right.
But 5 matches with run-ins, I think I counted, and that's a lot, dude. That's WWE shit.
Okay, who ran in to take out Carl Anderson?
Kazarian.
Oh, it was Kaz? Okay, I didn't catch
he's
that.
the elite hunter now, and I don't know when this started. Sometimes they reference BT like everybody watches BT.
That's a problem they have. They do that all the time, which I understand they use BTE to advance some character development and stuff. But if you're doing a storyline on that, that's difficult to do because you assume everybody watches everything, and you don't catch casual fans like that. Not that we're.
Many of you guys actually do watch it.
I don't. I don't watch videos.
I know about it. I want to. I just don't.
Yeah. I don't have the time, dude. It's like barely have enough time to watch this shit. You know?
Yeah. That's a problem that they have. But okay. Yeah, I had no idea. And then they said it, and I was like, I don't even know what they said. So okay. What else do I want to say? I mean, we can go all over the place. Anything? Okay.
If you want to transition to the thing you wanted to talk about,
I can, but that's a main event. So do you want to go there already?
We jump around. We don't care.
That's fine. Okay.
So real quick. That opener with Hangman Page and Brian Cage was a fucking banger, dude.
That was a good match.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Cage got to show what he can do.
Yeah.
And that's another guy we've seen at Bar Wrestling, right? Who he can do a lot. He just remember he was X Division when he was in Impact. He was wrestling there. He can do all that shit, dude. There's a face turn coming there too. You see it, right?
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna be disappointed if he doesn't bring that shiny armor to Comic-Con Revolution with him.
Hey, I did see him post that he had that made for what was supposed to be his debut last year at Double or Nothing.
Oh.
But because of the time constraints and what was going on, he decided not to. And he's like, I've held on to it, waiting for the perfect time to do it, and this is it. Dan, you said something about that. You said something about Cage's armor or whatever it is.
I had texted you. I was like, dude, that armor he looks like a monster in that thing. It looks cool.
Well, you've seen him in person.
I thought it looked silly,
but
it was. It was
very.
If
you guys
silly.
think it looks cool, I mean that's cool. But I thought I laughed out loud when he came out. I was like,
he looked like a comic book character.
I was like, oh, look at a cyborg over here.
Yeah.
You must not have seen.
Universal Soldier. Look at Universal Soldier over here.
Vic, help me out. Vic, help me out. Who did Kenny Omega come out as at Wrestle Kingdom when he took on either Okada or Jericho? Dude, he comes out. Kenny Omega has come out in some whack stuff, dude. Like full on, like this dude's going trick or treating style costumes, not just ring wear. Like I'm gonna take off Scott Steiner with the chainmail.
I'm sure it's over the top. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, I still.
Don't forget Triple H's WrestleMania entrance versus Sting.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Every Triple H WrestleMania entrance. Let's call a spade a spade. Okay. Yeah. No, but the match was good. Hey, how did Hangman? Was that the match Hangman got cut, or was that on Dynamite where he got cut?
Dude, that's Dynamite. The match that's put off. That's that because the second match was the Bucks and versus Kingston and Moxley. Yeah. They fed off the energy off that page and after that page match. They fed off that energy. Yeah, Page and Cage, excuse me. But it was a pretty good match, though. Very good match. Big time.
The highlight of this whole show for me was Sting. By far, dude. The first move of the match, he takes a suplex on the concrete, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, what are they doing? He gets up and no-sells it, tears the old man shirt off, because a lot of these old guys will wear a t-shirt because they're not as jacked as they used to be. He looks like $1 million, does a fucking crossbody off the stage onto these dudes. I was marking out, man. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you that when I watched that, I was watching it, and they protected him well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They protected him well. I mean, because they're gonna protect each other, and because it's a 60-year-old man, dude.
Yeah.
Doing
spinal problems.
Right. Yeah. With known spinal problems, they protected him well. You got your stinger splashes, so you marked out for that. I mean, for what he did, and it wasn't a lot. He did some cool stuff, but it wasn't a lot, and there's no way he's gonna do that every week. But it was pretty cool. No. I liked when he did the stinger splashes, and then both guys are down. And then the camera cuts over to Darby, who's got his hand out because he just got the shit kicked out of him. Has his hand out, says tag me, and basically says, I want him to Ethan Page, and he goes and gives it to him. So it was entertaining. It was an entertaining match.
Just the crowd just gave me goosebumps. Crowd yelling, "You still got it! You still got it!" After 6 years, you know, that we've been kind of waiting for that one match that we wanted as a fan, which we know it's never gonna happen.
No, and it doesn't need to happen, dude. I know we all know you're going with Taker, bro, and it's not going to happen.
Know,
and at this point, it should not happen. No.
It would be slow and sloppy.
Yeah.
Unless it was it was like a cinema sequence.
Yeah.
Match.
That's that match.
I was shocked that Sting looked so good, though, man. I mean, he didn't take a ton of bumps, but to start the match like that, and then to see this guy do a crossbody off the top of the stage is just holy shit, dude. I was like, what is this? Like, you know, Sting's still a star, dude. And this is a guy we grew up on, you know. And I just loved seeing that, because it's one thing to do a cinematic match, it's another to do this in front of a full capacity crowd. So it was fucking awesome.
Hey, and he's into what he's doing, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Like he just recently said the other day, I read something that he had said no, Darby Allin is basically working the Crow gimmick that I had when I was in WCW. So, like, yeah, he kind of is. He kind of is, but, you know, it's working for him. It's working for him on a little bit of a different level, but it's working for him. That kid, yeah, he doesn't have the belt right now. He doesn't need the belt. Like,
no, he's
not at the moment.
Like $1 million, bro.
Yeah. He doesn't need it, so, I mean, I'm cool with that. Anybody else got anything to say? Because I was going to talk about Jungle Boy.
Yeah, can I, as a segue into Jungle Boy, I just wanted to say that I called the last 3 on that match when there was like 7 people left. So I just want to take credit for that. I said it's gonna be. I said it's gonna be Christian. It's gonna be Matt, and it's gonna be Jungle Boy, and Jungle Boy's gonna win. I even called the win.
Okay.
30 people in the match. He waits down until he gets to 7 to make the call. Okay.
Well, you know,
Battle Royale.
I mean, you know, you gotta get some of that fat out of there.
That's
actually start thinking.
How about the surprise though? How about the surprise of that match?
Waste of time. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Waste of time. Did he look good? Yeah. Yes. And then you read like, hey, is he signing? No.
It's a handshake deal.
Leo Rush. It was Leo Rush. Remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The crowd didn't really react like you would want a surprise to react. You know what I mean? And then he was just kind of thrown out immediately.
Yeah, he wasn't even there that long. He goes in, does some of his, flippy shit. Flippy Ricochet, Will Ospreay shit, and then gets tossed out. It really wasn't much. And then when I was like, okay, is he joining? You read, no, he signed to New Japan, and New Japan, let him work that thing. But he's not expected to sign a contract. Well, then what was the point?
No point.
Yeah, well, I think what's even more funny is the rumors going on that day about, it's going to be Andrade. It's going to be Daniel Bryan. Or
Big
somebody
Show.
Yeah, or Big Show. Big Show. There you go.
And we got Leo Rush.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Leo Rush. It's kind of, that's It's a big F for me, Leo Rush.
Anthony, I spent all that time shitting on your 3 out of 7, but who was the third one? I don't remember. It was Christian, Jungle Boy, and who was the third one? I don't remember.
Hardy.
Matt.
Hardy?
Oh, it was Matt Hardy? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Because they had the little,
team up.
trying to team up. Yeah, to do the little, nostalgia team up.
We got history. Yeah.
And I was like, man, 21 years ago, I was watching these dudes in a ladder match, one of the greatest ladder matches of all time. But now they're the last part of the last 3 of to help get Jungle Boy over. Not Jungle Boy needs to get over.
Good storytelling to have Christian be the one to do it, because he's in fresh. Everybody knows who he is. He's title contender worthy, and then to an up and comer. It made sense storyline wise.
I actually like Mark Casper from the Acclaims when he comes out, does his little rap things like Christian. Yeah, he goes, Too bad you're sloppy. All you're missing is an edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was good.
I was like, hey, who's this guy trying to steal John Cena's original stick? This ain't no doctor of thugonomics.
Okay, can I?
Yeah, what do you go? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go on record as saying Billy Gunn's boys were just on Jericho's podcast last week, and one of Billy Gunn's boys actually is a freestyle rapper. He does it too. So of course Jericho, I'll do a little bit. Okay, so he busted a little one. He's way better than the dude from the Acclaim. The dude from the Acclaim kind of sucks. Like honestly, I was like, there's kids at the high school I work at that are better than that. Like I was like, I'm not impressed with this dude. Yeah, he comes out with some stingers. Some like, ooh, burn, like that one. All you need is an edge. That was good.
That's all it's supposed to be.
I know it's all
just
supposed to be, but
Cena.
his flow is not there.
How about that? How about when they wrestled against Moxley and Kingston, and he mentioned something about being part of the podcast about oral sessions with Renee.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was funny too, bro, but he's like a SoundCloud rapper, so like.
That's what he is, bro. That's what he is.
Yeah, it's not. I wasn't too impressed with that. Mike, you made a cool comment to me the other day. We talked about this, and I had a little exchange back and forth with you about what's his name, Nick Camarado?
Yes.
Yeah, who was in this match?
That guy's a star in the making, dude.
Ogre
I
from
think
Revenge
so.
of the Nerds, bro. Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds. That's
I said
that guy.
More, the dude from Bloodsport and less of Ogre and be a star. But he's got the look, intensity. I remember everything he does looks good. All those guys at QT Marshall training
He looks like Hagrid from Harry Potter, dude.
Hagrid like Harry Potter.
Speaking of that, dude, I mean, I know, like, real quick, like, what do we think of Cody and Anthony Ogogo?
Okay, that's where I was going with this. Let's finish up with Nick, and we'll transition to the Nightmare, the Nightmare Family, or not the Nightmare Family, the Factory, or whatever it's called. Yeah, no, dude, he does. He needs to be that dude, though. He can't be the killer. He can't be a Braun Strowman. You Braun Strowman him, he's done. The dude's got to lose. But he also needs to be the one, like, if this kid can't talk, then he either needs a mouthpiece, or he needs to be the one who's like, I don't speak, but when I do, it sounds super intelligent. Like, sure. I'm a freaking animal. Like what they tried to do with Lars Sullivan, but he's a jackass. Like, that kind of stuff. If they can pull that off with him, dude, he'll be successful. I'm trying to remember real quick if there's anybody else in that match that I was like, oh man, they stuck out as far as that. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it was, your typical kind of Royal Rumble style match.
As far as Jungle Boy goes, where do you think he's actually they're gonna put a belt on him? Do you think he's gonna fight Kenny?
He is.
Do you think
2 weeks. He fights.
Okay, so they're not waiting for All Out.
No.
They won't put the belt on him. I think he'll go. He'll have a decent match with Kenny, probably over 20 minutes or so. Come pretty close, but Omega will win. But it'll make Jungle Boy even more of a star being in a match like that.
It's kind of like the Ric Flair, Ricky Morton effect. When Ricky Morton and Ric Flair gave a good match in a 30-minute time limit draw.
Bro,
Kenny's
not losing until at least the fall. There's no way Kenny Omega's going to lose any match until at least the fall. If he loses the match, it's a tag match or it's a DQ or something, but he's not going to lose clean until well after the summertime.
He loses. It's going to be at a pay-per-view, though.
Yeah.
I say he loses in September, bro.
Well, and that's the fall. Yeah. That might be it. But no, you can't have him as the belt collector and doing all that Ultimo Dragon shit with 9 belts or whatever. And no, to lose to Jungle Boy in 2 weeks on a Dynamite, not going to happen.
Yeah, because I know in September he's going to be wrestling Andrade for the AAA Mega Heavyweight Championship.
Okay, that might be the one that he loses that belt because just of the schedule and the travel. And the only reason he's probably had that belt this long is because Mexico was shit with the pandemic.
Yeah. He's All Out before that, Vic?
Huh? Yeah, I think so.
He's All Out for that event? Because I think he'll drop the belt at All Out before he drops that Mega Championship, and I think it's going to be Hangman Page. That's my prediction.
He's been the one since we started this, Mike, that we said he's the slow build, and he's supposed to be the face of this company. Like, eventually. Right. It's going to be him, but it needs the slow build. You have to make him the household name. You had to break him away from the elite, all that kind of stuff to do that. Okay, are we getting there? Yeah, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time, especially now because he was over with a live crowd too, like big time. So good for him.
He's the Britt Baker.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing MJF's title shot will probably be around springtime of next year.
I could see that. He's got to be the one to slow build too. He's got to be the bigger name.
Yeah.
Right now, I think Hangman's in the spot to do that. MJF will eventually. Anthony Ogogo. Okay, first of all, we've talked about this with Cody, man. I know I dropped this to you guys in the chat the other day. How much further do you go, dude? How long is it until Cody retires? Because you literally have nowhere to go. Where you're not even a company for a few months, dude, and you take yourself completely out of the title picture. I'll never challenge for the main title.
You know what, dude? I watching that match against Gogo, man, it was kind of boring, dude.
Okay, yeah, okay. Then this is what I told Mike, dude. We know Cody can wrestle, okay? Like in that chat, and it had just happened to be Mike that was responding back and forth to me, but like that punch is whack, dude. I get it. The guy's a boxer. His shit's gonna hurt. Yeah, 100%. But that's kind of, to steal a phrase from Conan, it's kind of JoJo. If everything is just like, oh, I get hit in the gut and I'm gonna go, like, that's freaking kind of lame. Like to be the.
He wasn't
finisher.
ready for this spot. I don't think at all.
But we did say, and I do agree with you, that he did really well for what he can do.
Oh yeah,
like really well for what he can do. Like you see, dude, the potential is there for this dude. It's there. It's just like it's not his time, but it is there. Because I was impressed with he was selling well, and I know I talk shit on the punches right now, but if you look at the way he delivers them, it's safe, dude. He's not punching the dude. You could it looks like he's making contact, and he might be, but you can tell it's like, okay, it's not full on contact. He's pulling it a little bit. The guy's coming, you know what I mean? You can tell it's like it's a working punch. And you're like, dude, okay, this guy, but that as a finisher is very lame to me. Like, oh, shot to the gut.
Look, unless AEW decides to bring the Brawl for All tournament. Just saying.
I'll tell you what, I give him props for this. Taking the Vertebreaker, that finish, that's a scary fucking move to take.
Dude.
Oh, big time.
Cody did it safe and everything like that, but for a guy that green to take that finish, fair fucks to him for that.
And what I did notice when he took that is he made sure he was balanced. He had those legs up there. They were stiff. They were right where they were supposed to be. You could tell he put himself in position I'm going to take this move. And Cody kind of waited. He kind of waited on it, and Anthony totally was you could see him move his legs in spots. Okay, I'm totally in position to take this move. I did notice that too. It was kind of a boring match, but the dude has potential. Cody Rhodes is going to lose steam fast, dude, because you literally have nowhere to go.
Have you guys seen The Boys?
No, who was talking about that? Oh, Xavier was talking about that. Have you just watched that yet, Dan?
I'm familiar with it, but I don't follow it.
Well, I just think it's hilarious that Cody was coming out as the All-American hero, and he's dressed like Homelander from that show
yeah, and he's the bad guy.
The facade is he's the all-American hero, but behind the scenes he's this genocidal maniac.
he's John Walker.
Yeah, dude,
okay.
I just thought that was funny shit, but yeah, and that
to put it into context, I know Dan would understand. He's John Walker.
I think he added the marching band on his theme song. That's what I noticed. Yeah. It sounded pretty badass, to be honest.
Better than that Snoop Dogg song.
They retired that. Yeah, it's over.
Thank God.
Yeah, what's up with Moxie and the Wild Thing, though? Why?
Dude, I don't know. I like his other song better.
Yeah. Throw the heater, Ricky.
And apparently the Wild Thing that he's using he's using right now is the same recording from Major League. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the original.
Ricky, throw the heater.
I guess they were able to get they were able to get permission to use the original one once for I forget which match it was, but then he's been using the one from Major League since then.
Hey, but the version from X is a lot better than the one from the Trogs. Because the Van X,
yeah,
it's a lot better.
The Rockabilly guy says that. Just saying.
Shut up.
It's all good. No mama's way. That's what you're supposed to say. No mama's way. I'm trying to remember what else we saw. I think we talked about. We only got 2 matches, man. Good for us. Okay, we were talking about. Because I told you there was. You could tell who was over. I had one guy in mind, and I'll get to that. But there was another one that is, and that Orange Cassidy, bro. Orange Cassidy is freaking over. That place freaking popped when they hit 2 and that missed on 3. The crowd even chanted, "That was 3. That was 3."
Yeah.
Like when he, man, I didn't know what to expect out of that match because that's kind of an odd combination of people. You've seen Kenny and Pac already, but to throw Orange Cassidy in the mix there, I was like, that's kind of weird, dude. It worked. Like they made it work, somehow. You really at points thought, dude, Orange Cassidy may win this. Now I knew Kenny was gonna win, but like, they had you thinking like, are they gonna do that? Are they gonna swerve you and give, Orange Cassidy the belt?
There's no way he's gonna get the. I'm like,
bro,
maybe. Go ahead.
Brilliant to hit that. Was it a Falcon Arrow that Pac hit off the top to Kenny?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Orange just slides in the ring, tosses him out, and covers him. That was freaking brilliant, dude. That was such freaking good booking to have him just kind of sneak in there and almost steal the win. And that was the spot. That was the no, it wasn't. No, it was a couple. Because the one later was like when Don Callis pulled the ref out. That one too. After he Orange punched.
I thought.
Both.
Bro,
both
I
guys.
thought everybody was gonna riot, man.
Right?
Everybody was.
They were pissed.
Bro, it was like, fuck you, Callis.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Callis.
Dude, he's a dick. Wait, what did he say when he got up? Because he was on commentary for that match, right? Did he say, "Oh shit," and then just threw off his stuff and then went down? He did. I think he said, "Oh shit." Because Cassidy had Orange Punch Pac, and then he Orange Punched Omega too. And then when he did that, I think Callis yelled, "Oh shit!" and you could hear him take off his headphone and throw it down. Then the next thing you know, he pops up on the screen. And then Don Callis just left the booth. Blah blah blah. That I thought that was pretty solid too. That little detail that was just like, that's a cool little detail to throw in there to be like, he got worried.
Just the little details with Orange Cassidy. I guess when Omega was gonna set him up for the V trigger, I think you can see the part when like Cassidy is like he's up on his knees, then he puts his arms up, puts them in his pockets, and then he takes the fall. He falls. I'm like, all like Ric Flair.
Yeah,
that's dope,
I did.
Like,
I noticed that too. I was like, what is he doing?
Ric Flair, bro.
Yeah.
Does a little shuffle, woo, and then the fall.
Just took the face plant. Yeah.
And,
down.
and everybody gives him a standing O. There you go. We need more of that, damn it.
That was pretty funny. I thought it was good. Match of the night, I don't know. I don't know. You think it was match of the night?
No, the match of the night, like Bell to Bell was probably the opening match with Hangman and Brian Cage. But what got kind of murky here at the end was another fucking interference finish and Don Callis interfering, and Kenny's hitting Pac with all the belts and all that shit. But it was a very good world title match for sure. And Cassidy is extremely over, and another guy that was extremely over in the building was, we can talk about this match, but real quick, Miro. I'm glad they've turned the corner on him, because when he first came in, it was terrible, and now he's kind of the guy he was supposed to be, and they were trying to get Archer to be the face in that, and they were just cheering for Miro the entire time, dude.
Oh, man.
That was a good match for two big dudes who are kind of physical.
Oh, yeah.
That was a really good match for two guys who were very physical. I went into that match thinking, man, I'm not going to be into this match. Because Miro, his character was just, man, it was shit. When he was the video game.
Okay.
His character was shit.
Quick question, guys. Is there really a point now that about Jake Roberts still being involved with Lance Archer? I don't think Lance Archer needs Jake.
I don't think he does.
He doesn't.
And,
I agree.
And can I shit on the people who thought there was actually something in the bag when Miro threw it? Can we just shit on those people now?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're a fucking moron if you think there was actually something in that bag. Like, there's a whole reason he didn't open it. Yeah. Freaking so stupid. By the way, if you haven't watched the treasures from this last week, it was them looking for one of Damien's bags on
there you
Most
go.
Wanted Treasures. So it's been a Jake the Snake kind of week. Because this week too, as we record this, this week is also the Grizzly Smith episode of Dark Side of the Ring.
Did they find it?
Yeah, they found it. You want me to spoil it, or are you gonna watch it?
Bro, I don't even have A&E, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, the dude that had it has this like museum where he lives called the GWC. It's like the greatest wrestling collection is what he does. And so, he's one of the ones they go to when they're looking for stuff. He had one of the bags, and they're going to offer money for it. They're going to offer to buy it off him. But the guy said, "You know what? So I have this museum here because I want people to see it, but not everybody can come here. So I'm going to give this to you so more people can see this." So he straight up gave it to him. Didn't charge him any money.
It's like $7,000 for that bag, huh?
Yeah, they kind of go through on that thing, and they show you whatever it is they're looking for. We estimate that it's probably valued about this much, and then it's kind of like Pawn Stars after that, where they kind of go through and like, okay, this is what I'll give you. What do you want for it? Kind of make deals. It's a pretty cool show. Like I dig it.
Yeah, I like it.
I watched the Ultimate Warrior Dark Side of the Ring right before we came on here.
Bro, okay, so let's before we finish with the Stadium Stampede, man, what a difference between the biography and the Dark Side of the Ring. Yeah. There was a huge difference between the two, because you can tell the biography was WWE backed, because they have their relationship with AEW.
Yes.
And they, Dana Warrior was on there, his second wife, and all that kind of stuff. And Dark Side of the Ring was his first wife, the one, that he cheated on, and she left him. But what a different story altogether. Like as far as
I think part one was kind of like the combination of the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior on DVD that was released in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Dark Side of the Ring was more like that than the biography was.
Yeah.
And the biography kind of apologized for that, saying this is where everything was. The dude was definitely complicated. Either way you look at it, he was a super complicated dude.
That guy got me into wrestling when I was 5 years old. Larger than life, the music, the entrance. You don't really know about work rate when you're that age.
Yeah, same with me, Shorty.
Yeah. And, to hear some of the things this guy has said in public over the years, like maybe there's things that are taken out of context, or people take it too far with some things you said years ago. I know if you heard some of the conversations me and Dan here had in the back of the meat department, we'd be fired 1,000 times over. But the shit he said is so fucking egregious and awful. Like, there's no excuse for it, man. And there's no coming back from some of that stuff. And it's fucking terrible to, like, see one of your childhood heroes be such an asshole and such a terrible person, to be quite honest. It's like the Cosby effect.
Well, at least think of it this way, man. I'm like, if you think about it, he was more there for, it's about, my fans, he cared more about his fans than his coworkers. I could probably say the same thing about Goldberg. He had no knowledge or history of the business itself. Well,
Yeah.
He's another guy. It's
yeah,
all
but
about.
Goldberg, the difference is Goldberg's not telling kids at the airport to fuck off when they're asking for an autograph. He's all about kids and giving back in that way. And Warrior wasn't like that. Warrior was about making money.
That's yeah.
So it just sucked, to get even more of that stuff. And Jim Cornette, I was listening to, he was talking about him a little bit off camera, and started reading some more things that they didn't show on there, and I just couldn't fucking believe it, dude. Like, my jaw hit the ground. Some of the stuff this guy said in public, like on his blog or on YouTube, the things about Bobby Heenan, is fucking awful. He was just a terrible person. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. And Dana Warrior, isn't the woke champion that the WWE is trying to portray her as. She's got a dark side too.
Yeah, and then not only that though, but the fact that Dana Warrior is supporting the Pride Week. I'm like, Ultimate Warrior will be turning in his grave as we speak, because he was totally anti-against that. Just saying.
Exactly. That's 100% true, Rick.
Yeah. I don't doubt it, man. You talked about
going queer and go over.
You talked about the stuff that you'd say back in the meat department. I think we all went through that at different time, man. But you evolve, And you just kind of hope towards the end, he seemed a little bit more genuine towards the end of his life, and I hope he was. But I don't know.
Well,
I mean, you have to think that what you heard from him on Raw was him at that point.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Realizing that everything he had done was not great, and that he was coming to terms with that for himself, and that, he came to terms with it, and then he died. I mean, that's, I guess, I don't know if it's poetic, but
I think in a way, that last Raw, it was kind of like God's way of saying, it's closure. People love you, the kids love you. So what I'm like, that's like, it could have been it could have been a better story than that, dude.
Was Jake on Jake was on Dark Side of the Ring, right? Was he?
Yeah,
I
you
was
know
thinking
what
of
I'm gonna say too, Dan? Everything he said on Warriors Dark Side of the Ring, though, I will say this was bullshit. His timelines don't even add up. He said he was getting a world title match before the SummerSlam Warrior was fired, and he didn't even have the belt then, dude. So I don't believe goddamn thing Jake.
Well, I don't know, but I'll say two things about Jake, because one other thing just came to mind. Since we're talking about Jake from AEW anyway. Is that when he was talking about Warrior, he had said that there was bad blood there, and they did feud. You can't argue that they didn't. They did feud. We watched it.
Sure.
And that at the Hall of Fame, like, Jake was basically ready to fight him, and Warrior apologized to him, and so that's why I kind of bring up, like, maybe it was like, okay, I realize now I was wrong about all this stuff. It was different because you saw him talk. Even Hogan was like, well, it's a different dude, at that point in his life than before. What were we gonna say?
Like
Hogan could talk.
Well, I was gonna say Hogan. I think Hogan apologized to him around that time too. They both, because they were going back and forth, over submission. But at the same time, with the Jake Roberts thing, Jake Roberts was pretty pissed off. It was not even shit. I don't think it was even a title shot. It was a big payoff, because I guess if you remember, they were leading up to a storyline. It was going to lead up to a match, and they did all of these vignettes, all of this promotion of, Jake versus Ultimate Warrior, and then Ultimate Warrior held Vince off. It was a waste of time. Jake is still bitter about that payout, about missing out on that payday that he would have had with the Warrior.
Mike's ready. Go for it. You got something to say?
No, I was just gonna say that as far as what he said on the show, he was a world title program with the Warrior. I believe. Don't quote me on this, but Roberts was also in big trouble around this time, and he got arrested for something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I don't know about all that, but to transition from Warrior back to Roberts again, they just did the treasure thing was on. I told you they're looking for Jake the Snake artifacts. Man, him and Honky Tonk Man, they can't stand each other.
They hate him.
They can't stand each other. So I guess I kind of knew it, but I never really paid much attention to it, because I was about 10 when that was going on in, 87 or so. Yeah, WrestleMania 3, I would have been 10. Doing that, I had never paid attention to that. Obviously, I've seen him on the Snake Pit and him getting hit with a guitar.
It was a real guitar, a real fiberglass guitar, dude.
Bro, there's no way. Like, he's like, I guess he missed my back, and he said it was sarcasm because you watch the clip. How do you not? Dude, he hit him in the head, like, full on. Like, he wasn't even trying to hit him in the back. He hit him in the head, like, completely. There was no way that you missed that shot because it was nowhere close to his back, dude. It was nowhere close to his back. If he
I'm laughing because anytime you say Honky Tonk Man, I just laugh.
Oh yeah, he's got that.
Everything about the guy.
Okay. Jake did say he's a lazy worker. He only does stuff to get his character. As a character, he's great, but he's like, I can't wait to when they piss on his grave. Still to this day. Matter of fact, so they went looking on this treasure thing. They found the bag, right, with one of Damien's bag, and they said, we'd really like to find the guitar that Honky broke over you. And he kind of, okay, here's the lead. So they go to Jimmy Hart, and the freaking, like, trigger warning, bro, on this thing says, for the safety of everyone involved, only AJ, the guy that's on NXT now, that's the guy that does the show. Only AJ went to go see Jimmy Hart. They didn't even take Jake the Snake with him because they thought there'd be bad blood, like with that. So like at all, like it straight said like trigger warning on the screen. I was like, whoa, bro, is this that bad that it's like, man, I'm gonna attack Jimmy Hart too because he was with Honky Tonk, the Honky Tonk man. But yeah, no, they go and they found the thing, but I just found it funny to be like, we didn't even bring Jake because we knew like this could cause some shit.
Hey, interesting fact about Honky Tonk Man. One of his first gimmicks was actually punk rock Wayne Ferris.
Oh, really?
Over in
Was it
yeah,
really?
over in CWA, yeah. Which is pretty funny.
Have you ever heard Gallows and Anderson talking about Honky Tonk Man? I think it was on Jericho's podcast. It's hilarious, dude.
I think so. But you know what? Can I tell you that Jake the Snake does the best Macho Man impression I've ever heard?
Oh yeah.
It was like dead on, bro. I was watching it and I looked away for a second and he did the impression. I was like, holy shit, that's Macho Man, right? Nope. It was Jake the Snake doing an impression of Macho Man talking about, their match when the snake, when the python bit him on the arm, talking about that. It's like, whoa, brother, and I was like, oh, damn it, dude, that's like right on. It's deadpan, like freaking
That
Macho
was
Man.
awesome.
That was cool. Back to AEW, unless anybody has anything to say.
Yeah.
Okay, back to AEW. The guy that I was going to say that you could tell was completely over in this match and is headed to new heights is Sammy Guevara. When he pinned Sean Spears, dude, that freaking place erupted and he ate it up. He did his thing where he got on that middle rope, and even when he got into the ring, when they actually took the match out into the ring, and we'll talk about the shitty like transitioning in a second. But like even when they got to the ring, when he first came out and he kind of knocked Spears down, he went over and did that bit to kind of like taunt the crowd to rile up. They ate that shit up, dude. They ate that shit up. He was so freaking over. He's a kid like this is his time. He's gonna what did Edge and Christian call it? Rocket strap. That kid's gonna rocket strap in front of a live crowd.
Well, he's the future of that company, man. Same thing with Jungle Boy and MJF.
Yeah, you got these guys who are gonna take off, and he is one of them. I mean, we know he's pulled some stupid shit in the last year. He's pulled some dumb shit in the last year, but his work ethic and what he can do is gonna surpass all that. And we know he took some time off to do some training, and the whole thing with Sasha Banks that he talked to her and apologized, and supposedly it looks like he's becoming a better person because of it. But man, he was over. He was absolutely 100% over. I was like, oh my god, he's the next one.
So I'm gonna have to bow out here, boys.
All right, man.
I gotta get up early tomorrow. But I did not see this match, so finish strong for me.
Okay. Okay. See you later, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
Later, Mike.
All right. I thought it was a great choice because obviously we know that part of the Stampede was pre-recorded, but then obviously they did the finale. That was an excellent choice because as Dan said, the that pop in the ring, to have it finish in the ring was genius because and they could have went with the call to have the whole thing be pre-recorded again and have it end somewhere in the building or even in the ring. I think the last year's ended in the ring out in the stadium, right? Yeah. Or did it?
It ended. It didn't end in the stands. It ended on a field somewhere.
No, that's right. It ended when Sammy got pinned in the pile of boxes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Kenny Omega pinned him. Yeah.
Yeah. It was so the call to have the match end live was obviously the correct choice, and I don't know how much of that was that the only part that was live?
Yes.
I don't know, but I actually like the part. I actually like the part of the debut of new Jacksonville Jaguar head coach Urban Meyer.
Right. That cameo, you like that? Shit.
Yeah, Charlie Strong.
Yeah.
Charlie Strong, the assistant coach. I was hoping for a debut of Tim Tebow in the play, going through his playbook and shit. Yeah.
That it was kind of weird because you knew it was cinematic, that first part, but what I don't remember from the last one was they seemed to get around everywhere in that stadium pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean, that's because I think the whole thing, the first one was all filmed live but continuous.
Maybe.
But like they were doing an actual match.
Yeah, this
whereas
was a little
this
weird.
one, obviously, I think all of the segments were filmed separately.
Yeah.
Like they weren't necessarily at the same time. But yeah, no, I agree. I was gonna say I agree. The little individual segments I didn't like it.
No, I'm with that. The part that I found funny, and please explain to me why they all had a shot before they got into the fight in the club. Was there a reason for that? Tully Blanchard. First of all, Tully Blanchard looking like he's coming out of Poison in 1986. I was like, what is this?
And then to see Kodak
Yeah,
DJing.
that was
which
the
is so
thing
funny
too.
because in his podcast, he's always on the freaking Disco Inferno podcast. Inferno talking shit about AEW every fucking week. And if you see Conan up here on this segment.
Well, Conan just says, well, here's what Conan will tell you is that he's not hating, just stating. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He's got love for everybody. He's got love for those. That's LAX, man. Those are his boys. Like it made sense given the history that he'd be there. But I found it funny when Tully Blanchard was gonna hit the guys and Conan stopped him and was like, no, don't do that. And then they punched Tully Blanchard. That part was funny, and Conan just let him go. So it was pretty funny. That was a good spot. The spot in the chair was funny. The playbook with the laptop, that was pretty funny. I mean, yeah, you're getting comedy out of these spots.
How about the baseball bat inside Tony Khan's office?
Yeah. No. How about Shad Khan? That standee of Shad Khan there.
Yes.
Where Jericho says you're gonna get in trouble, and then like whatever. After he hits MJF, he knocks him down. He goes and straightens out the Shad Khan standee and kind of he pets it like he's fixing his hair. That was freaking funny, dude. The only thing I popped bigger for was when Daniel Bryan and AJ, I think it was AJ, where they were in that Money in the Bank went into Vince's office. Is the only thing I popped bigger for.
That
was funny.
That was the only thing missing would have been actual Shad Khan being there.
Yeah, that part was pretty funny. So I mean, it was entertaining. It was entertaining. But I thought Sammy came out of that the star, dude. Sammy came out of that the star. I also think Hager on his stock did go up. Hager on the mic, he can do it. Like it's not the prettiest thing because he has that little lisp, but like he can talk. So on Dynamite, that's the Friday before, he cut a promo and I was like, dude, yeah, where's this guy? Bad creative, yeah, like Jericho says, like, yeah, dude, this guy, all those guys, Super Wardlow, dude, that dude's impressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, them two are having a little battle during that match. That could have been a match on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's up with Warlord getting those icicles, man, ready to stab Hager?
Hey, you gotta make it look, like we're gonna use whatever's here. That was pretty good.
They wrecked that walk-in.
I was gonna say, was that half cut pygmy was hanging on the hook? Was that shit real? Was that pig real?
Never know, man. You saw Rocky.
Yeah, that would have been funny if you saw some guy punching it.
Yeah,
well,
that would have been funny. It was good.
The continuation of the getting chased by the golf cart joke.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only thing I wasn't the biggest fan of was that there was not everybody came out to finish fighting in the arena. Like that's the only thing that I was like, okay, this should have been everybody came out live into the arena to finish this. Instead, we got MJF and Jericho, and then Spears and Sammy. Where I think it should have been everybody, because all of a sudden everybody just came out of the woodwork. Like, no, it should have been like, if we're all here, we're all here. Something that happens in the arena, that's where the guys get laid out. Spears and Sammy get into the ring and finish it there. Like, that's what it should have been. But it worked for what it was. It worked. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, man. That was the pay-per-view.
You know what? Just seeing the crowd, this live event on this show. Man, I just can't wait to go out and see an actual live event again, bro. Seriously.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, man.
Yeah, as long as I don't have to see it with anybody from any of those Florida trash that was in the stands. Ooh-wee, that was some. Did you guys actually take a look at the stands? Ooh-wee, Florida man, indeed.
It's Florida, man. I don't know, that's what to expect. Man. But yeah, I got the same feeling, Vic. I was like, man, it's time to go. It's time to do this again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
Let's get it. I'm vaccinated. Let's go.
Definitely.
Let's hope it doesn't take 2 years for AEW to bring shows out here.
I think we're still looking at Citizens Business Bank, and I think with all these guys, because we were talking about that earlier too. I think it's going to be a slow rollout, because even WWE is getting back to touring again, but I think it's going to be kind of a slow.
Right.
Like let's see how this goes.
It's going to be in July. I guess their first tour day is going to be in July.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
I think the best we can hope for is Double or Nothing in Vegas, where it belongs next.
I think once
year.
they take Dynamite on the road again, we'll get a taping out here. Because remember, that was supposed to happen, we thought, in May of 2020. Yeah. And we were looking for it already. Like, dude, we're going to go to Dynamite. Like, because weren't we talking about getting a box, Dan? Yep. I think we were talking about renting a box for Dynamite. Like saying, dude, let's get a box. Oh, yeah,
that was supposed to be the end of May. Because that's right, I remember looking at that. But it would have been the same weekend as Comic-Con Revolution.
Like everything else, COVID. But no, man, I'm ready. But yeah, I'm excited that we're probably going to see this stuff starting up again on a more regular basis. I think that's it, man. Anybody got anything else on the pay-per-view or anything they want to talk about? So before I end Kayfabe?
Real quick, breaking news. I guess Don Callis is going to be working pretty full time with AEW right now.
Yeah, he had stepped down from his role as whatever he was doing. Vic, maybe you can help me out with what his title was.
I thought that was a work.
Well, no, he really did step down from his duties, like a lot of his duties with Impact. Like it's kind of on Scott D'Amore and the other ones. I mean, I think it's meant to be. It's like a work shoot kind of thing. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of that. Is what it is. I heard that too, that he's a consultant, but I know he had stepped down a little. He had backed away from what he was doing in Impact. Because let's be honest, man, he's making money with Kenny Omega. It's what's happening, and this is, that's ultimately the end game. Anthony, were you gonna say something? I thought you were.
No, I don't know.
To add to that real fast, what tripped me out, I didn't realize he was Cyrus Navarus in ECW and the Jackal.
Wait, that's him?
Yeah, Don Callis. Yeah,
that's what I said.
I didn't know he was Cyrus.
I didn't realize it too.
He's bald now.
Remember when he was the Jackal? Remember when he was the Jackal with the oddities?
Yeah.
And you remember that badass theme song by fucking ICP?
He was with Kurgan, bro. He was with Kurgan. Man, don't hate on ICP, bro. I told you that before. Don't hate on ICP. I kind of like ICP. I see the humor in it.
You know who was the guy with the mask and the bumps in his head, right? You know who
it was,
right?
John Tenta. It was Earthquake, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, Earthquake.
Yeah. Everyone knows this, Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are yeah, no, it was. Yeah, he's bald now. Is the thing. He's not like was he trying to be like David Koresh? I think was kind of the character what he was going for.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to have a little cult following or some bullshit like that.
I mean, I think that's it. I trolled some, Dan, you didn't hear that. I freaking trolled some online, news group for freaking, wrestling all day. Cause I was like, man, this shit sucks. All day long, all I saw was Lana breaks silence about release. Miro breaks silence about Lana's release. Strowman breaks silence on WWE release. I'm like, break silence? Like, it hasn't been 2 weeks, bro. It's like been 3 hours. Like, how are you breaking silence?
You just pulled us off of Twitter.
I know, yeah. Like, dude, I'm like, if I got fired from somewhere, it's gonna take. Oh man, that sucks. Let me collect myself, and then I should make a statement. A couple hours later, not like right away. I wasn't silent about shit. I was trying to collect myself and figure out what I should say. Because damn well know the first thing you want to do is be like, motherfuckers, let me go. Shit, that's the first thing you want to say.
I just started a segment.
I know. You're like, shit. I just bought a house.
I just bought a house.
Bitches. Like, yeah, like that's the first thing you want to say. You got to calm down and be like, okay, I do that, man. Something heats me up at work. I got an email typed, and then I'm like, am I going to send that? Not yet. Not yet. Why? I got to calm down. I got to calm down and look at it again and be like, I shouldn't say this. Like, that kind of stuff, man. No. That's how that part
You know
works.
what? I hope Strowman was smart and probably had a backup plan, as in, to trademark a name. I know of course he can't trademark Braun Strowman or trademark something that's related to that character. You know what I mean? Hopefully he was smart. He had a backup plan. you see a lot of professional, a lot of workers that go to work with the E, they don't think about that. When they find out that the name is not registered, guess what? They just own your fucking name, bro. You need to come up with something else.
Yep.
Sucks.
Dan, I said that he's going to end up on the circuit with Luke Ferrigno, doing signings at all these little Comic Cons. Tuesday to see him.
Yeah, poor Broad. Poor Adam.
Just say it, bro.
I hope he does end up somewhere else. I actually do like Braun Strowman. They've got to figure out something to do with them. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, you know, as a dude, he's funny. As Adam Cherie, he's funny.
I like him.
Yeah,
I mean, they could bring him back after a certain amount of time. They could just restructure his contract or something if they really.
They need to restructure his not his appearance, but like his character, because he can't be the freaking monster, dude. He can't.
Just remember what he said almost a year ago. Remember that quote? Somebody screenshotted that quote.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Anywhere else and fuck the indies. So that's all good. All right, man. I'm gonna end this too. I am on vacation, but my kids still are have school for the next 2 days. So.
All right, man.
Kayfabe Culture is part of the Extraordinary Culture podcast universe. You can email us at exocast@yahoo.com. We're also on social media. You can find us on Instagram at exoculture. We're on Facebook at exocult. We're on Twitter at exocultcast. You can listen to Extraordinary Culture or Kayfabe Culture on PodOmatic, iTunes, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify. You can YouTube Extraordinary Culture Podcast, or you can ask your smart home device to play the Extraordinary Culture Podcast.
Remember the magic spell, right? You remember the magic spell?
I'm gonna walk around and tell everybody Avada Kedavra.
No, I was gonna say, lávate las manos. Lávate las manos.
Hey,